like.
All right, we'll call this meeting of June 1st Commission Business Meeting to order. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. The meeting will be conducted the same as they have before. For the public comment, please state your name. And if you have a comment throughout the meeting, state your name again so the folks listening in know who's making the comments. We'll start with public comment. Any public comment?
Commissioners, my name is Cheryl Campbell. I was catching up on my reading, and I noticed there was a legal notice about a permissive levy from the conservation district, whatever it is. Do they have to go through you to put a levy on the ballot, or they have the economy to do that, or I don't understand.
We'll respond to that. Any other public comment?
Well, I have one more question. Because I get the agenda by email, could all those boards, could the planning board and the hospital district board and all those other various boards, could they send out through that same email the upcoming meetings?
Bob?
We are in the Bobby Meehan, I'm Broadwater reporter. We're in the beginning of irrigation season. And I have 3 pictures that I'd like to just let y'all see, commissioners, if you don't mind. Of 3 different areas in Broadwater County that citizens have been very concerned about. This is what I call road irrigation. And in 2018, Corey Swanson sent an article to the paper stating that under Montana law, a person who allows irrigation water to overflow and damage public road can be held liable for the cost of repair. The Montana Code also has 714-2141 liability for permitting water to overflow, and it's also under 45-8-111 as a public nuisance. What can the commission do about this, and what have they done in the past?
All right, any other public comment? Tim?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Tim Ravendall, Readout News. And I have just it's not on the agenda, so I won't be able to attend your health board meeting this afternoon because I'm in conflicted scheduling here. But I was at Gallatin County Health Board meeting this last week. And at that meeting, there was nearly 100 citizens very, very highly concerned about how that process with the COVID-19 process is moving forward regarding their rights. And of course, that is a very volatile issue. And the reason I bring this up now in public comment period is that particular case, as well as 2 other counties that we know of, there's legal action pending for violating the rights of the citizens. And so Broadwater County needs to be aware of the fact that the constitutional rights are not voided in this phase 2 program, and that needs to be recognized as you folks move forward in planning to go back to phase normal, which has been referred to. So please keep that in mind. Again, I won't be able to make that meeting, and I hope that you can make sure that the citizens' rights are on the front, and that's on behalf, again, of Readout News, covering that to help people get informed. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission.
Thank you, Tim. And public comment.
JB Halleck. Can the commission tell me if there are restrictions in place at the county level that exceed the state level at this time
In relation to what, JB?
in relation to the coronavirus? I'll be honest, are there any restrictions at the county level that exceed the state level?
All right, any other public comment? Nothing? Okay. All right, so I'll kind of try to address these best I can. You know, it's kind of hard to address these when you don't know what the comments are going to be. You know, I have a hard time comparing that. But as far as for the permissive mill levy, Cheryl, I know that it is on our tax statement. And that's something everybody pays for the conservation district. And as far as for other boards submitting agendas, I'm pretty sure that they're posted on our website under the specific board, right? Nicole, is that right?
Under the county calendar.
On county calendar, yeah.
But I know we need to do better. The trust board has been consistent with getting the agendas, and the planning board, but you know, working with some of those other boards and their administrative staff to get me those agendas. The problem with sending it out bulk or mass like they do for the commissioners, that would put a strain on Michelle. Strain, I mean, you know, not significant, but she's the one, Michelle Beatty is the one who has that list of folks to send the agenda to, so it would just be another job to add to her, to be sending out all of these agendas, but not impossible. But they are, for the most part, on the county website, but I know we need to do better.
Yeah. Well, and I know that our new county website is being developed to hopefully be more accessible to folks as well. So, okay, see what we can do there. The irrigation on the roads, yeah, that's an issue, Bobby, for sure. And I think I'm talking with Corey on this, that you know, for the first thing is probably going to be an education process for them. And we're going to have our new public works director here that's going to do some self-debate. That'll probably be something that he's going to handle. I'll try to educate them first on why we don't want the water on the road. And then there is a letter that will be sent by the county attorney, see if we can address the issue. If it happens again, then we'll follow whatever the statute says that we can do.
I know that in the past, they have sent letters.
Yeah.
Anything after that, anything beyond that has, because same property owners, same problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's hard on our roads, and it's dangerous for public travel on those roads. So,
Well, and it's wasting water. All of those property owners need to share that water.
okay. So, now we have somebody that can handle that. That's where the process is going to be.
So then I just go to him for more questions.
Yeah.
Right?
So Tim, as far as for health department meetings and I understand exactly what you're saying. And today we entered phase 2 for the governor's directive, and we'll have those discussions today. And that kind of ties in with what JP is asking. I don't know, Mike, do you recall? I don't think we have any county restrictions that are more stringent than the state. I think we've been following that state guideline. And that's what we're using for our guiding document. All right. Guess we'll move on.
One last question, I'm sorry. So who is the new public school director?
His name is Josh Wilbur, who's sitting right behind you.
Okay.
And he's gonna introduce himself today at 10:30. Tell us a little bit about himself. I have the commission meeting minutes for May 26, 2020.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes for May 26, 2020 as circulated.
Motion been made to approve the minutes from May 26, 2020. Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. I received a flyer from Nancy. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, it's a program, Farmers to Family, a food box program available for a 25-pound box of food. And it looks like it's available to anybody. You have to pick it up at the Helena Food Share in Helena. Anyway, here are some flyers on that. If anyone is interested in that, there's information that you can pass on in there that you feel might be interested. It's a great program. Anyway, no COS stuff.
No COS, but I do have a standing agenda item regarding board appointments, if you prefer to do that now.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So again, this is Nicole Brown. I have a letter from Robbie Sandberg. I'm going to read this into the record and then leave it for your consideration. To whom it may concern, I am interested in serving on the Public Health Board for Broadwater County. My goal is to contribute to the overall health of the county, helping Broadwater County stand out in the state as a great place to live. My wife and I moved to Broadwater County in the spring of 2013 after I finished my first 6 years in the Air Force, stationed in Duluth, Minnesota. We've always wanted to move to Montana, finally settling on Townsend in June of 2013. We purchased the Hahn Ranch and Feed, converting it to a True Value, and it has been operating and serving the local community ever since. After getting resettled with the new business, I rejoined the Montana Air National Guard and continued in serving the United States Air Force and the state of Montana as a public health technician. My focus is in epidemiology, the overall health of the serving members of the Air Force, and the safety, public health-wise, of Air Force assets. I'm honored to be considered for the board. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I look forward to being able to serve my local community if I'm selected. Thank you again for your consideration. Respectfully, Robbie Sandberg.
All right, that's cool. Had an opportunity to back and meet with Robbie. I think he's going to be a great asset for public health, our Board of Health Board. And especially at this time, we're needing a quorum as well, so it's going to help us out considerably.
Do you need a motion to accept him?
Please.
I'll make the motion to accept Robbie Sandberg as to fill the position on the Board of Health.
I will second that motion. Motion been made and seconded. Any public comment?
Tim with Readout News, what's the spelling on the last name?
Can we answer that, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Just because I have his letter here. So it's Robbie, R-O-B-B-Y, last name Sandberg, S-A-N-D-B-E-R-G.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Robbie will be filling the position that Jeannie Steele left, and that is a few-year term. So would you like to amend your motion, Mike, for it to be a 2-year term?
Yes.
Okay. So motion, then amended, motion to approve Robbie Sandberg as a member of the Board of Health for a 3-year term. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Can I have a follow-up question, Commissioners?
Yes.
Sorry. Again, Nicole Brown. Since the Board of Health meeting today is pending a quorum, would you like me to step into the hallway and call Mr. Sandberg and see if he would be available to meet at 1?
Sure. Okay, so next on the agenda is to approve the DPHHS grant for community-based behavioral health needs exacerbated by COVID-19 pandemic. Task order number is 20-331-74178-0. And this, is it, Brandon, do you have something?
They're working on a power line back there. I just need to move your car out of the way.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't interrupt you.
Don't get hurt in that wreck.
I'll try not to. Just didn't want it to get towed.
Thank you.
So is Teresa out in the hallway by chance? No, okay. So this task order is for $38,575, and the source of the funding is from the state general fund. Teresa Monson will be the liaison for administrating this grant. And these are the following activities that can be done with this grant. So utilize a group of stakeholders, including representatives from the Public Health Department, Sheriff's Office in Broadwater County, as well as local behavioral health providers to manage the grant activities. Enhance community-wide information sharing through the use of flyers, newspaper, Facebook, and emails. Purchase telehealth equipment, including tablets, tablet cases, headphones, cell phones, phone service plans, phone minutes, Wi-Fi, and internet access for behavioral health providers and consumers to increase access to telehealth services. Support Broadwater County's peer-to-peer program by covering the cost of peer-to-peer specialist wages, mileage, and clinical supervision. Purchase personal protective equipment and other COVID-19 protections such as isolation gowns, face masks, eye protection, thermometers, and sanitation supplies for behavioral health providers, behavioral health consumers, and personnel of emergency medical services, the county health department, and the sheriff's office. Pay for the cost of hotel rooms, apartment, or housing units for inmates or homeless individuals requiring social distancing, isolation, and quarantine. Local behavioral health providers and other interested community members will engage in online trainings for suicide assessment and crisis strategies through PESI or other training providers. This grant will be in effect till June 30th of 2021. Take a comment, right?
What's that?
Take a comment.
No, this this program will help us fund the peer-to-peer program. So kind of give us a relief on that funding for that program and other things for mental health and public health as well for our older citizens and stuff that need anything in COVID. So it's a really good program. Glad to see Teresa stepped up and do the monitoring on it so we take care of well there. So yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be beneficial. We have, as we know, we really have no idea where we're gonna end up in this pandemic. And, as we move into fall, and then we may enter another situation, so these funds will still be available to help with those needs. So we'll go with that. I'll
Make the motion to approve the DPHS grant for community-based behavioral health needs.
Okay, motion been made, I will second that motion. Motion's made and seconded to approve the mental health orders, the DPHHS, task order number 20-331-74178-0. Any public comment?
Is this grant reimbursable money or do we get a check?
It's reimbursable money, so, thank you, Brandon, again. So, yeah, we don't get a check, so as, we incur expenses, we'll submit invoices. And,
So what if,
access to funding that way.
what if a claim is denied? Where does that money come out of?
Oh, what?
What if a claim is denied?
Well, I guess maybe it's up to us to make sure that it's an appropriate claim.
Or what if they deem it not
Then the number will come from
appropriate?
the health department.
So the health department, the public health department fund would,
Mhm. Any other public comment? Okay.
Tim Ravendall, citizen taxpayer. Question I guess I have, if you're accepting an open door to 30,000, whatever the final figure is, of spending on this right now, at what point under the original directive and the efforts on the COVID-19 pandemic issue, which is what's driving this from what I understand, that was originally set to be really seriously considered after 90 days. And so what I'm hearing and seeing as we travel around this area listening, where does this actually get shut down in spending and growing government bigger? That's a question that's of high concern.
No, I mentioned that, Tim. I said this grant is only good till June 30th of 2021.
21, so that's a year.
That's a year. And we don't, as Bobby asked, we don't get a check.
Okay.
It's not an open door. If we incur expenses, then we access the fund.
Okay.
Okay? And then and the funds come from the state general fund, they're not coming from the county. That's my.
Tax dollars.
Mhm. Any other questions? All right.
If you don't mind, Commissioner. JP Halleck.
Okay.
I understand Tim's position here. Is it possible to use these funds, for example, to hire an employee such that at the end of the 1 year period, the county has an ongoing expense that isn't covered by a grant?
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I'm sure that you could probably use this to, maybe come up with some supplemental employees if we needed to, but we would not sign an extended, contract or.
The county's intent is to not create an additional financial burden
Correct.
beyond June
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, but if the public health needs help in doing what they need, we're gonna find the help that they need.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. I'm gonna hold on to this end. I'll give it to you in a second. All right, so next on the agenda is the application for federal assistance for the CARES grant for the airport. And this is a grant through the FAA. It is for $20,000. And it is for ongoing operations of the airport. Have 4 years to expend the funds and close out this grant. And same as the other grant application for reimbursement, we submitted through the FAA's site to reimburse.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for the CARES Act grant for the town of Airport.
I will second that motion. Motion been made and seconded to approve the application for the CARES grant for the airport. any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is a public hearing to adopt a resolution to amend the budget for fiscal year 2019 and 2020. So I will close this meeting and open the public hearing. Jen, you can kind of just give us a brief overview of our budget amendment.
They are designed to reflect in our budget line items that people have spent money that didn't previously budget for, to give them spending authority, or revenues that were received unexpected during the year to give them revenue receiving authority. And what the budget amendment does, is it takes the net of the revenues and expenses to come up with a net gain or loss in their expenditures or revenues. This is something we have to do on the books, because if it wasn't planned for it at the budget time, this is giving the authority for you to accept those. A lot of them will get done in minutes. A101s have been receipts. This is just a official document, so it's on the record of all of them so far to date. So if anybody needed to look or question, this gives the commissioners the authority to approve it.
That's good. I know this document's been available probably for, how many, 2 weeks, 3
It's
weeks?
been sitting up on the counter for probably a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
I just got it down here.
And it's been on our website as well. So I guess in going through this, I was happy to see that we received some extra revenue that.
There's a few here and there.
That we didn't anticipate.
Budget
So that's
received
good.
more than we expected, or something unplanned for that helped out where we weren't expecting it.
I mean,
It's by fund and expenditure line, and then there's details. And then the resolution takes the net of the attachment. Plus which ones.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that was out of line at all.
No, that's pretty good this year.
Yeah.
We did good at budget time, so that made this a little easier. It's time consuming still, but
Mhm.
in the end result, it was things we planned for, addressed in meetings. So it was good.
Yeah, I guess I want to commend our department heads and managers for doing a great job on their budgets this year.
They did good.
It's just going to help us going into this next budget season tremendously. Why, did you have any questions?
No, I don't have any.
Here's the official amendment to sign,
Okay,
then I will record.
okay.
Here's the amendment. I think I scribbled on it.
Okay, just now we'll accept the motion to, well, first I guess we'll close the public hearing and go back to our regular commission meeting. And next will be the decision to adopt a resolution for the amended budget fiscal year 2019, 2020.
I'll make the motion to adopt said resolution.
Okay, motion's been made. I will second that motion. Motion's made and seconded to adopt the resolution for the amended budget fiscal year 2019, 2020. Your public comment. Okay.
Not to nitpick, Mr. Chairman, but on the hearing part, I don't recall you calling for any public comment
Yeah,
during the
you're probably
hearing.
right. I guess I
And
did.
so before making a decision, again, just
All right.
trying to
So
help keep on the front line.
let's solve that. We'll close this meeting. We'll go back to our public hearing. Is there any public comment on adopting the resolution for the amended budget?
A question on it. So I don't think that my office needs an amendment. We haven't done an amendment. There's one issue that I want kind of nailed down by for year in the county. We last budget year, because I'm the county attorney and the public administrator, so last year I had to administer someone's estate and I had to hire outside legal counsel to do that. So we spent that, it was about $4,000. We got reimbursed that this year. So that spent previous year, got reimbursed this year. And we knew we were gonna get reimbursed, we knew the revenue was coming in. So last November, I had to hire an expert witness in a criminal case and for an additional psychosexual evaluation. And that was about $4,000 for that evaluation, report and testimony. So when I'm doing that, I did that knowing that we had some revenue coming in. So where we are right now, I overspent that line item on next to witnesses, but I didn't overspend on over. I just don't want to,
Right.
on June 30th, suddenly get handed a bill
Sure.
that when my overall budget balances out, plus I had a return of $4,000 of revenue from a prior expenditure. So I don't think I need an amendment for that. I want a record of that for revenue so that we don't have this, we don't have resting that over this.
Yeah, and I understand that, and that happens with a lot of other departments. Long and overspend our overall budget, we're good. So, all right, thank you for that. Any other public comment? Okay, we'll close this hearing, we'll go back to our regular commission meeting. Motion was made and seconded. There was no public discussion. I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Excuse me, could you speak up? I can't hear you back there.
I asked for a vote to approve the resolution for the expenditures for the amended budget fiscal year 2019-2020. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. No, let's go approve this little too, Mike. Okay, I guess next on the agenda is the introduction of a new public works supervisor. With that, I'll introduce Josh Over. Go ahead, Josh, you can stand if you would like, or sit. So everybody gets a chance to know you.
So as Ms. Fulford said, I'm Josh Over, and to give a little, I recently accepted the Director of Public Works position. To give a little background on my work history, spent the last 13 years working in the oil and gas industry in the Arctic in ConocoPhillips' largest oil field that they have in North America. Of those 13 years, 10 of it was spent leading crews, large crews, up to 176 employees under my leadership, and we managed budgets over $30 million annually. My crews did exceptionally well. We had one reportable incident and millions of man-hours worked in some of the most inhospitable work environments that you can possibly be thrown at. We also were able to submit $5.5 million worth of annual cost savings ideas and initiatives and lowered their annual operating budget by million. My most recent position was the general foreman over the equipment, civil and below grade departments. So all the construction equipment, all of the above grade, dirt work, and the below grade buried pipeline work. I've managed, electricians, just about every construction trade possible that you can have in an oil and gas industry, with the exception of welders. That's the one group that I haven't managed. But I'm also a veteran. I served just under 5 years in the United States Cavalry, and I look forward to working as the Director of Public Works.
All right. Josh, we're excited to have you join Broadwater County. I know you're going to do a great job. Yeah, that's your experience. I know you have some ideas and things that you'd like to implement. Look forward to hearing those.
Bobby Meehan, Broadwater reporter. So is it supervisor or director?
It's supervisor, public works supervisor.
So is there going to be a director or is that gone?
There, I think there was a director. There's always a misquote.
Always misclosed. So there won't be another position hired?
No.
No. Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Nope. Look forward to working with you, Josh.
All right, you see by the schedule, we have working meetings scheduled on Wednesday with Josh and his staff. So we'll get an opportunity for him to meet all of his staff and talk about everybody's expectations and hopefully move forward in a positive direction. Okay.
Mr. Chair, Tim with Redoubt News, just real quick, please just take a little quick second to describe what staff you're talking about. Is this just the employees in the different departments, or do you have a administrative staff on top of that? Where's that at?
He's gonna be meeting with the road bridge foreman, solid waste foreman, and Jessica for the weeds and mosquitoes.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll adjourn. 10:42.